Alright. Well, let's see how well you read the rules.
Right? Yeah, for sure.
You were already not very prepared going into this.
That's my fault. It's not his.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to One Quest Video. I'm Walnuts, and today we're going to be talking about the board game HiFi by Grok Games and Smitk Dagger. HiFi is a musically inspired hand management and influence style game. Basically, think of it as Ticket to Ride, but the tracks you're making are music tracks, not train tracks. The basic idea of the game is that 2 to 4 players are working as record producers while helping the classic 1974 band The Meeples complete the B-side of their last album, which they broke up while recording. This game has a great aesthetic, with great lengths taken to make the game look retro and bring the feel of being a record producer. The game board looks like a soundboard, the main action tracker is a record player and vinyl record, and even the instruction booklet was designed to resemble a classic music magazine similar to the Rolling Stones. The game is played across a number of rounds based on the number of players, meaning if you have 4 players, there are only 6 rounds, but if you only have 2 players, there are 8 rounds. The players take turns by turning the record in the box and taking several types of actions in attempts to gain victory points. The player with the most victory points at the end of the game wins. Victory points are awarded to the players as soon as an action is taken. There are many ways to gain victory points. A basic overview of victory points are you gain points when playing a card on a track. You gain points equal to the number of equalizer knobs on an instrument when an instrument is played. You gain points by completing secret objectives you may have on your cards. There are 2 types of secret objective cards, audio mixing cards and mastering cards. The mastering cards are objectives for endgame. The audio mixing cards are cards played on the tracks. The audio mixing cards must be played on the track the player plays or swaps an instrument card on that turn. The audio mixing card will have a set of 4 instruments in a row. If the player can have all 4 cards in that exact row, they get the total point value of the card. However, if they have any combination of only 2 or only 3, they still gain points, just not as many. Generally, the point value is a 2-4-7 split, meaning 2 points for 2 instruments in a row, 4 points for 3, and 7 for all 4. When playing an audio mixing card, you claim the first spot of a track. Claiming a spot on a track adjusts the victory points that track is worth when you're playing an instrument card on that track, so that value could go up or down. For instance, if you are the first to claim track 1, the victory point value goes up from 3 to 5, but if someone else were to claim track 1 later on, the points then drop from 5 to 2. As stated before, mastering cards are endgame cards. Their goals that only become uncovered on the player's last turn. Unlike most games with these types of objective cards, HiFi is family friendly. Allows the players to claim all victory points available at the end of their last turn, so they don't have to worry about later players hurting their plans. These cards have the same 2-3-4 type split that the audio mixing cards have, but the different objectives that we're not going to get into, as there's quite a few of them. One thing to note is that these cards do not take away your point value if you do not complete them. They only add to it, so it does not hurt to actually pull more of these cards even if you can't complete the objectives. The player's turns are dictated by a set number of actions and action points. Each player starts with 3 action points or production points represented by the volume knob. As they take actions, they use those action points. If the player is the first player of a round, they can either turn the record 1 space back or up to 2 spaces forward. That determines their final action, which is basically a free action. Players can use action points to turn the turntable further, so if they want to go 3 spaces, they must use an additional action point. After resolving their final action, the player moves to their production phase, which allows them to use 2 action points to place an EQ knob or take objective cards. This phase is optional. Lastly, the player is in the recording phase, where they must play an audio card on any track. The player will then possibly gain bonuses based on the positions of the card. Each audio card has a time signature, frequency wave, and of course a color representing the instrument. If the player plays a card in a space matching a time signature, they gain a bonus action. If they place a card that matches the previous card's wave frequency, or if they have 2 of the same instruments back to back, they also gain bonus actions. If they complete 2 or more of these, they gain another separate type of bonus action. You can only take 1 bonus action at a turn, but if you can place a card that matches the frequency, time signature, and instrument, you gain an action point and you get to choose one of the bonus actions. Lastly, the game has a very unique feature with the turn order. The turn order changes each round based on the player's victory point standing. The higher the victory points, the later you go that round. This is a way to attempt to balance the game and make sure each player gets the best opportunity to succeed. My experiences with this game is just in the basic mode. There is an advanced game mode that changes the bonus actions and other separate rules, but we didn't get into that one. Overall, I had a lot of fun playing this game. Not only do I love games like Ticket to Ride, but I also love music, and the music industry is fascinating and amazing to me. This game plays both into the aesthetics that I like as well as the play type that I like to get into in a game, which is both amazing to me. The rules and instruction booklet I personally feel could have been set up a little bit better. Admittedly, I'm pretty bad at rule reading comprehension, but when I was given the game to review, I was told to use the Dice app. And when I tried to use it, it's just a tutorial, and it would ask the players what they would want to do, what actions they would want to take, but would not explain the actions. And finding what it all meant in the book was a little hard and confusing for me and the people I was playing with. Another minor complaint are the game pieces themselves don't vary much besides color, and so for the color impaired it may be confusing. Luckily, all the instrument cards have the instruments on it as well as color coding, but the EQ knobs, score trackers, and turn tracker all look the same with just different colors. I'm personally not color impaired, but there were times that I was tracking the score and I was moving the wrong pieces because they all look the same. I would definitely suggest anyone who likes victory point tracking games and games like Ticket to Ride to give HiFi a try, since you might like it as I did. With its unique style, family-friendly competitive style, this game is easy to teach and learn as long as you have someone who knows how to play. I would suggest looking up videos on how to play or watching it play a little. I did give a basic overview on how to play, but there are some rules that we didn't touch on or didn't get into. I would like to throw a thank you out over towards Grok Games, and specifically Smitk Dagger, who gave me this review copy. It's actually a funny story. I went to PAX back in December of 2024, and I was walking the show floor, and I just happened to walk upon this game. I didn't have a meeting with the developers or anything. I just happened to see this, and they came over to me, saw that I had a press pass, and said, "Do you want a review copy?" And I said yes, not realizing what he was saying, because I was exhausted. It was day 3. But I was able to just surprisingly get a review copy that I was not expecting to get. So I really appreciate them giving me this opportunity. It was a really fun game. It was a really good time to get into it. That's it for me here. If you want to see a more in-depth video of our play session, I will be posting a vlog-style Let's Play over on my channel, Walnuts Gaming. So please check that out. Otherwise, I think that's a show. If you'd like to see more of our content, check us out on facebook.com/OneQuestOnline, X, Instagram, and Threads at @1_Quest, and be sure to listen to PodQuest on Thursdays every week, where all podcasts are available. See you all next time.